Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Agnieszka Godfrey-Tarnogórska. I'm president of ECIC Network and vice president of WACC Europe. And this webinar is being recorded and will be published, but the discussion will not be included. If you prefer not to appear in the recording, please turn off your camera. And today we have two presentations, and I would like to introduce the first speaker is Eeva Salonen, development lead at the Helsinki Parish Union, specializes in human-centered development and knowledge management, focusing on the relationship between the church and urban residents. Together with her team, she supports parishes in engaging people and works as an interaction architect for Kerais AI seminar at Finland. Yes, Eeva, floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Agnieszka, for the lovely introduction. So nice to be here with all of you. And I have a presentation to share. And I will be talking about how in Helsinki, Finland, we are using and learning about using an AI bot on our web pages. So first of all, I'll show you the agenda of my presentation. So first, I'll take a little time with the Helsinki Parish's website. Why are we using an AI chatbot? Then a little bit about how we learn from users. And I will finalize with the section called AI chatbots as engines of customer insight. So first of all, a few words about me. Thank you for the introduction. So this is a kind of a special position that I have in Helsinki. We are the biggest parish union in Finland, and we have the opportunity of also having people who are doing development work and helping in developing new approaches. And so not such a sort of typical parish background, so to say, what I'm doing. And a few words about the Helsinki parishes. So I'm talking about the Evangelical Lutheran Church of Finland. In Helsinki, we have 19 parishes, and the joint services are done by the Helsinki Parish Union. We have the budget of about 90 million euros, about 1,200 employees, just so that you get a little picture of how it's done in Finland. And this is the biggest church in Finland. Of all Finns, a little bit over 60% belong to the Evangelical Lutheran Church, which is a Protestant church. And in Helsinki, last year, we had 305,000 parish members, which is 43.9% of all Helsinki people. And we provide services related to spirituality, life events, community activities, and all kinds of everyday support. So this is like the context where we're using the AI chatbots on our website. So this is our website in Finnish. And on this Finnish website, we have now learned with the AI chatbot that you can see here on the right. That some of the texts are in Finnish, but here you can see that it helps with many languages. So this is like the context where we're using the AI chatbot. So if you access our website, which is Helsingin seurakunnat.fi, on the English side, you will not reach this AI chatbot because we're trying and learning, and we're doing it on the Finnish website of all the parishes, and then of all the 19 separate Evangelical Lutheran parishes. They have their own like point for entering the AI chatbot. And the problem that we've trying to find a solution with the AI chatbot is that we now have a website that they are renewing, and we will get a new website, but the one that we have, it has a lot of information, a lot of different different pages there where you have so many thousands of events, and whatever do we have a lot there, so multiple actors, multiple places in the city, and our users don't always know where to find relevant information. So human people are often needed to help in finding something on the pages. And we're getting ready to get the new website at the end of the year or at the very beginning of next year. So we have started with using the AI chatbot last year. And my workmates have done a good use with it, but I must say that we're still learning. So this is something new for us. And another part is that support is not always easily found. We have to say that you can get help during office hours usually, sometimes also in the evening, but human help is not always multilingual. And this is why we wanted to try and learn about an AI chatbot. And what is actually like the why of this is that it is really important to get the time of the people, of the employees and the people in the parishes, that kind of things where you really need a person. So not just to navigate a website, or we should have services that are so easily usable that you don't really need human help to use it. So that's why we chose to find out about an AI bot and get it to use so that it can assist multilingually 24/7. It doesn't really ask you whether it's 3 a.m. or whatever. If you have a question and wake up in the middle of the night, you can find help with an AI chatbot. And when my workmates have been planning with Lidu, this company, using the chatbot, they had this kind of things that they were thinking. They were thinking about consistent and accessible service, which can be used across multiple churches, multiple parishes, multiple places of service. And also to get multilingual access to inclusive service. Self-service options for independent and anytime use, so that the person could as easily as possible find a solution to their problem. And that the service quality would be also consistent. What is also quite important in doing this kind of things is that the person, the user who is on the website, gets guided on the way, so that the relevant services for the person, they can be helped with the AI chatbot. Supporting life events, for example, weddings or christenings or funerals, so that you can get to where you're looking for as easily as possible, and that the guidance would be clear. The idea has been to find personalized context in the way that a user's parish could be identified. We're not yet there, but we're going there, so that we would know from an anonymous user, like so that they wouldn't have to identify to the actual chatbot, but we would find a way to guide them to the correct parish. As I said, we now have 19. And to have a warm human tone in the bot, sorry, and to expand contact options. I'm sorry, I got something in my throat. Yes. And this is a picture I got from Lidu about how the actual bot works. So the user has a question, and it asks the AI system to generate an answer. So this is done simply by asking something. Where can I find the like Helsinki cathedral's opening hours, or whatever the question is? And then the data comes from the knowledge base. So this is something that has been done to the AI bot. So it has been taught various things in a knowledge base, where to find the information on the website, and how to answer the person who is asking. Then the data is given in the AI system. Here you can see a picture of like, that's a virtual assistant, just a dummy assistant called Leo. Ours is not called Leo, it has a different name on the Parish website. But then it uses also LLM, so a large language model for help, and then displays the answer. And this is how the system, in a very simplified form, works there at the background. And then some numbers about our AI chatbot usage. So during 1 year, we've had almost 44,000 triggers for this bot, and 8,500 conversations with the AI bot. But we have to say that we're still learning. We're still learning to use it and teaching it to give better answers, so that we'd also get more stars from the answers that the AI bot gives, so that people would be happy with the answers they get. And the past month, there have been 9,110 approaches, and discussions 1,281. And what is important is my main point, is that actually every interaction with the AI chatbot is a small piece of customer insight. And this is the sort of like epiphany that I myself got, because I've got background in, for example, service design, where understanding what people need and want is the most important thing to really sort of like base services on. And now I'm not talking about mass, but sort of like service on a website, or how do we do customer service in different places, or these kind of things. So how do we approach people? And here just a few words about service design, which has helped us in learning from users. As I said, for myself, this was almost an epiphany when I understood that we have this AI bot that gathers so much information about what people are interested in, what they want to learn about, what they're trying to do. This is really the kind of information that we need to help in making our services as easily accessible as possible, for example. And so continuous learning and improving is at the heart of service design. Here I have a small picture, which is from the British Design Council, which tells about the service design process, which can be seen as a double diamond. So the idea is not to hop into the solutions, but first to understand what is the right problem. So to frame the problem so that we're solving the right thing. And this is what I understood when I got to learn a little bit about our AI bot, that it gives a lot of information that helps us in understanding where we should work, which things we should work with when we are developing our services, and for example, when we're developing our web pages. So then we better understand that we're solving the problem right, so to say. So it's based on real interactions, not assumptions, And then we can use the service design methods to turn these interactions into insight about what people actually need. It can be spiritual matters as well. Then our answer wouldn't be normally a website, but sort of to understand people's questions and needs. And what do they want to know? Our data from the AI bot shows that they mainly ask about contacting the right person, what is happening and when. For example, they're interested in events, how to handle a life situation, such as weddings or funerals, and where to find relevant information. And the revelation of the customer insight is that users are not just looking for information. They want to find clarity. They want to find direct answers. How do I do this? Or who do I contact for this? And even some kind of guidance. So to further develop our websites and other services, we get good insight from the AI bot data. And so we can say that it works as an engine for customer insights or user insights or human insights in the area of Helsinki. So it gathers information about what people ask, what interests them, which terms they use. Do they call a baptism a baptism, or do they call it a christening? And so this really helps in like planning, for example, the website. How do we guide them there through the services? And so this gathering, categorizing, understanding the information, it helps in designing better services. And not just the website, but also human interaction on the whole. And what we have learned is that they are not just service channels, these chatbots. They are continuous sources of customer insight. And I find this very interesting to really learn what people want to know and what they want to learn about. And just you will get this presentation, so just to know where to go. So that is our website. But as said, if you want to see the chatbot in use, you have to go to the Finnish site, because that's where we're trying it out. So thank you very much. That was my presentation.
Thank you so much, Eva. It was really great and good that you could put everything in such a short time. And our next speaker is Referent Ralf Peter Reimann, President of WACC Europe. He holds a master degree in computer science and serves as an Internet Commissioner for the Evangelical Church in the Rhineland. In his work, he advocates for digital justice and explores the intersection of theology and technology, with particular interests in artificial intelligence and spirituality. So, Peter, the floor is yours. Please,
you're muted.
Yes. Yes. Once more.
Okay, sorry. I hope you can hear me now. I was really happy to listen to Eva's presentation. I would have loved just to jump into discussion, but I will share with you my presentation and then we can have an overall discussion later on. Thank you, Agnieszka, for the nice introduction. My presentation, I hope you can all see them, that can see the slides, is about a project. And the idea is that our data is our AI strategy, and how do we feed our data and structured data from parishes into AI systems. Before I start, let me give you an introduction of my presentation. First, you have to bear with me for like short theological consideration. Then I will say something about how AI changes how we work, how AI changes search. What does it mean for churches? I'll have a short reality check, and then I will talk about our project. So first, you have to bear with me. I am based close to Düsseldorf in Mülheim, and 50 kilometers from where we live is Barmen. And in 1934, there was the Reimann Theological Declaration, which affirmed the basics of the Christian faith against Nazi ideology entering the church. And one important I take from the Reimann Theological Declaration is that the gospel of God's grace is meant for all the people. So this was meant that it was meant for all the people, not only for Germans during the 1930s. But what does it mean in the age of AI? I think it means that we have to serve what the gospel is to us on all possible channels, not only on websites, not only face-to-face meetings, not only on social media, but also use AI so that we really reach all the people. But AI changes the game. Let's just look at a little bit of how ChatGPT grew. It's just like when it was introduced from January in 2023 to July 25, it just grew to 70 million active weekly users. So ChatGPT was faster than any other platform or system. So to reach 100 million users, it took ChatGPT only 2 months. TikTok was really fast, but it was 9 months. But also some other platforms like Spotify, it was like 11 years. So ChatGPT grew faster than all other systems, but we do not only have ChatGPT, we have Claude, we have Gemini, we have other systems as well. So AI changes how we work on the web and changes our online presence. And especially it really affects search. This was a study from last year that by this year, a quarter or half of all searches would have shifted from using search engines to AI systems where you get an answer. What does that really mean? Normally, if you search for something like hotels near Munich Oktoberfest, you get like sponsored ads. Normally at the church, we don't pay for them, but you get like maps of locations and then you get organic search results. But AI is different. AI delivers one answer and it's a conversation. And that's why people like it better. But quite often you get like one option or two options and not a huge array of links and listings. So we have to be careful how we can shape our presence in AI systems. So this means that AI overviews, even in search engines, are changing how we search. And it's no longer listing, but also Google now gives us AI overviews. And this means the click to pages, to web pages really drops significantly. What does this mean? It means that in order to survive in the AI era, we have to expand our visibility beyond search. And we have to create content for people, but also make sure that the content we create is suitable for machines. So create for people and train for machines. If we look at a question, that's quite a regular question. People ask, what is the best Indian restaurant near Soho that has late night dining and patio seating? So what does AI do? For the best, this is like something subjective. It checks reviews and social media websites. For the restaurants, it checks listings and categories. Then for the exact location, it checks maps. And then it checks local pages and web pages for the objective facts like late night dining or for the seating. This means that companies have to distribute the data everywhere where AI looks. One thing that the company has full control of is the website. Most companies also have control for their listings. You can do something about social websites, but really you have minimal control about forums. So in order to be present in AI queries, you really have to be good at the places where you have full control of. What does that mean for churches? Just look at the question. How does AI answer this question? Where's the best church in Mülheim with good music? So AI checks reviews and social media, checks listings and directories, maps local websites, and then it also checks local websites for other facts like music, choirs, and stuff like that. Let's have a short reality check. This is what I get from the website of the church where I occasionally preach. It is a graphic file, a JPEG file from the church bulletin, just uploaded as a graphic file on the website. Okay, this cannot be indexed by Google. It cannot be read by AI. And only people can read it if they actually happen to be on the website and they scroll down and they read it. But even for blind people, for example, this is not accessible to all. So we're not doing a good job, at least not the parish where I live. But also in the city where I live, I do not find a Protestant church. I find free churches. They do a lot of a better job. Okay, so quite often we have to learn, this is just like a small remark. When I was in New York in a church, it was a huge church, and after the blessing, the pastor said, and if you like the service, please review it on Google. This is something that is not our culture, at least not in Germany, but I think it would be great if we would really introduce that tradition. But because our presence in searches, and especially in AI, is not very strong, or I mean, in some areas we are still already quite good, but we still have to improve it. We came up with a project. So we want to really have location pages that contain structured data from parishes that are readable for human beings, but also for AI systems and of course for church systems. And we are very happy. We are like the Protestant church in the Rhineland is one of the regional churches in Germany. And we are happy that we could get support from the EKD, the national church, the National Protestant Church in Germany, to really expand and enhance that project so we can have a nationwide scope. We have a website that is SEO driven, where we really only present content that has a significant search volume on Google. This is how we decide which content we put on the website, but we decided to really enhance that project and also add location pages for each city and municipality in Germany. Our objective is to create for each city and each municipality a landing page that contains the Protestant church buildings, events like services and other activities, and also additional local information. We're happy that we don't have to start from scratch. We can really build on the project Digitale Kirchtürme, digital belfries from the EKD, and also we will build on regional church event calendars. So we have a basis where we can start with church buildings and also with events. We already started the project. So what I can show you now is the minimal viable product, which we want to expand. So we have for each state of Germany a landing page where you have a list of cities where you can filter for the cities and municipalities. And if you click on a city, you have all the church buildings listed. And of course, then you have the events. What activities are in the church? Here you see some educational activities, but probably if I had taken the screenshot on a Saturday or Sunday, you would have seen, of course, the first events would be services. What we want to do is, first of all, we want to centralize the data so we can better manage them, standardize them, because if the data quality is better, you gain more trust on Google and also on AI systems, make the data robust, and also, of course, provide locations for the events and the church buildings. So the use case is people look for a church or service, they will find it, but it's not only people, but also AI systems that can retrieve structured data. And of course, we are looking always at search engine optimizing. So we have an improved discoverability for each location. Of course, we face challenges and requirements. We will start really to roll out the project for all of Germany in end of next month to have at least as good as it's possible the completeness of locations, have up-to-date event information and structure, location, buildings, events. But what is most important really, have validated tagging of all the data according to schema.org. So it's really machines can read it. I have shown you the pages first. This was like what humans see, but if you look at the code, you see the HTML code, but we also have JSON file attached to each HTML file that has the proper information in according to schema.org, so machines can really read it. This is for a church building, and this is for a service. So it's working, and the challenge now is really to gather data from various sources, standardize them, and also put them into our database. Our goal is, by the end of next year, to really have 750,000 entities, that is buildings. Of course, we don't have that many buildings, but of course, entities like services and other events, make them available on our website to users who look for them, who search for them, but also for machines, so that in an AI conversation, you get correct answers. What I hope is that around Christmas, you can ask a question. I want to attend a Christmas service with kids at Cologne, and AI engages in you with a conversation, and you get a good and reliable answer where you can go to church on Christmas Eve with your family. This is our vision, and maybe next year we can have another webinar, and I can report if we really could achieve our objectives. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Now we have time for discussion. So please, if you have any question, you can, of course, ask them. And also, if you have, you can also write them in the chat.